All right, let's cross to SABC News senior politics reporter Samkele Maseko, who now joins us from Nasrec, Johannesburg, where the ANC Special NEC meeting is currently underway. Sammy, a very good afternoon to you. Of course, we've heard Gwede Mantashe lambasting some former and current leaders of the ANC, saying don't use the media to talk about what you're disgruntled about. Raise it in the proper structures, raise it within this platform at the ANC NEC. Are people indeed then doing so? Are they using this platform to share how they feel?
Well, Flo, those former leaders of the ANC, in particular former President Mbeki, former Deputy President of the ANC, Kgalema Motlanthe, and former President Jacob Gedleyihlekisa Zuma, are seemingly not to be found anywhere near Nasrec. They've essentially blue-ticked the African National Congress, and they're not here to air their views and their criticism of Mr. Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, the President of the ANC. So we are not seeing their convoys anywhere near this specific venue. But knowing the ANC spokesperson, Mr. Pule Mabe, have your former presidents blue-ticked this NEC meeting to raise their criticism of your president?
Well, I would not know what blue-ticking an NEC means. When you don't come to the NEC, you give an apology if you are so invited. But remember this, former presidents of the ANC are ex-officios of the National Executive Committee. They have earned that status out of a resolution of conference taken by the ANC post the Mafikeng conference that would then have allowed President Mandela to attend in an ex-officio capacity. That resolution was taken there. It has not always been natural that when you are a successor in title, therefore you will attend NEC meetings even when you no longer hold that position. It was a resolution of the African National Congress to allow for former presidents to attend. They attend our meetings in an ex-officio capacity, and we value the contribution they make in those meetings. That they could not make it in today's first physical National Executive Committee, surely when they read out apologies and gave reasons for why they could not honor meetings, such would have been explained. What we do not do when we talk to the media is we don't even come. I mean, I know that we are trying as much as we can to be transparent. Maraluva transparent gadi apology, it's not gonna work. No, because we left enrolling. This one couldn't come because they've got other meetings. No. Apologies have been filed with the ANC. We are aware why everyone else who was supposed to attend could not attend. We've got that information, and we are satisfied with the reasons given.
With preparations towards the 55th National Conference, how far are you with those preparations? We understand that tomorrow the party's electoral committee, chaired by former Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe, will be taking you through the branch nominations and how they're handling those particular nominations. When can we start seeing the provinces holding their provincial general councils?
Well, Samkele, just to assist the viewers of the SABC, in terms of the program that we have, the electoral program that is headed by the electoral committee, there is nowhere where it speaks about the Provincial General Council. So if provinces wish to convene PGCs, it will be to discuss their own positions on a number of resolutions as provincial executive committees, taking their branches on board. They could also use such a platform to receive the report on consolidated nominations of those that are standing for various positions in their own provinces. So that could be done. But it is not mandatory that provinces of the ANC in the build-up to the National Conference must convene Provincial General Councils. The leagues, the Youth League, the Veterans League and the Women's League have held their own elective meetings. Reasons being that unlike provinces of the ANC, they are not going to be able to convene BGMs, whereas a province of the ANC will preside over branch general meetings through regions of the ANC, which is what has happened. So, as you know, the leaks of the ANC, which in terms of the constitution of the ANC, 12.7.2, are regarded, given the status of being provinces of the ANC. So they have already held such meetings. As it relates to the state of readiness, we are indeed ready. We stand ready to host conference. This week, we held a tour with members of the media here in Nasrec. We took the media to various plenary rooms, commission rooms, where catering will be provided, where we're going to host our gala dinner, and all of that. We did this to demonstrate to the media, our structures, and society at large that we are ready to host our conference. As we stand today, nothing suggests that this conference will not proceed. We are confident that conference will proceed as planned, and it will be able, the ANC will come from this conference very much alive. So when Comrade Khalima comes here, he will be tabling a report on the work that they've already undertaken, that they've already held the leaks, nomination processes, that already provinces have begun opening the envelopes for nominations. They are doing provincial consolidation. As you know, in terms of that calendar, provinces are expected to have concluded on their provincial consolidations by the 18th of November, which is a week away from now. On the 22nd, they will then receive the final report of that consolidation coming out of the work done by the Electoral Committee. On the 24th, the consolidation will then be published to our structures, because I see some of the members of your media are interested with the publishing process done by the ANC. This list of consolidated nominations will be published for all to see. And then vetting will begin. So basically from next week, those that have made it in this process will start receiving forms to accept or decline their own nominations.
Mr. Mabe, there is the Integrity Commission report around Dr. Zwelini Mkhize, around the President Cyril Ramaphosa, particularly pertaining to Phalaphala. Are you anticipating that any of these reports will be tabled in this National Executive Committee meeting?
As matters stand now, I may not know what is detailed in the Integrity Commission's report, but any matter that serves before the Integrity Committee, whether it's a matter around Kabazela, it's a matter around the President on Phalaphala, if those matters have served before the Integrity Commission, their reports would also be shared with the National Executive Committee. Reports of the Integrity Commission set up and established by the National Executive Committee have got to come to the structure for consideration and further elaboration. So if they've been processed already by those structures, you'd then expect that the next thing to do is to serve those reports before the National Executive Committee.
Just the view of the ANC's National Office, the Gauteng Provincial Executive Committee has said that they'll be disciplining Ekurhuleni Regional Chairperson Mzwandile Masina over putting a motion of no confidence against the will of the higher structure against Executive Mayor Tanya Campbell, which has affected the ANC's negotiations on coalitions, which affects national, because Fikile Mbalula, your NEC member, is handling those coalition discussions.
Well, the constitution of the ANC empowers provinces to make their own decisions. I think the powers of PECs are more clearly pronounced as stated under Rule 17 and the relevant subsections. So if the PEC acts or takes decisions, for as long as those decisions are located within the authority of the PEC as stated in the Supreme Law of the African National Congress, which is our constitution, amended and adopted at the 54th National Conference, we do not confer or impose on PECs which powers in the constitution can they or can they not exercise. If they're exercising any power or any authority, for as long as they are doing so within what is stated in the constitution, it has got very little or nothing to do with the National Executive Committee. Imagine now we interfere with the work that must be done by a regional disciplinary committee of Mopani region out in Limpopo. We can't do that. The constitution of the ANC sets up RDCs, it sets up PDCs, it sets up the NDC. Rule 25 of our own constitution outlines disciplinary undertakings of the African National Congress. So there is not much that we can do. You know, you do not have a national region in South Africa. You don't have that. you have got regions that account to provinces. You have got provinces that account to national. You have got branches that account to regions. Actually, these branches, their first point of accountability is sub-regions and zones. So the organizational architecture of the ANC clearly outlines how things are expected to be done and where structures are supposed to answer and account. So I don't see how such matters would suddenly become a purview of the National Executive Committee.
So, Chairman, you just whispered to me, will you become the Treasurer General come the 55th National Conference?
Well, it is not what we want to become ourselves or what we dream of when we're sleeping. Branches of the ANC decide. They will exercise their democratic will when they come to conference. I have not received that document from the Electoral Committee to either decline or accept nomination. So where I am, I've heard whispers of people raising our names here and there. We might not have made it ourselves. Until such time that one receives the form that says accept or decline, only then can we have this discussion in a much more informed way. Because we must not speak ahead of branches. We need to give branches of the ANC the space to pronounce themselves. It doesn't work like that. Give them space, but the pronouncer, and then we come.
Are you available?
I answer that to Kgalema. If you want to be Kgalema, unless you are junior Kgalema, then we can talk to you. But we talk to Kgalema on those.
That is Pule Mabe, who is the spokesperson of the ANC, speaking on the roadmap to their 55th National Conference. As usual, Pule Mabe is very funny.
All right, well, better you than me, Samkele. All right, Samkele Maseko, our SABC senior politics reporter.